morning, everybody. Well, it's Hot Topics with Don Lemon. I know it says a Don Lemon show, but I don't really see these as a Don Lemon show. This is kind of like morning coffee talk, okay? I'm in the wrong thing. Hi, everybody. How are you? I'm in the wrong thing as it relates to trying to speak with you. I got a new cell phone, and for some reason, I can't get onto my own YouTube page to like comment with you guys. So I may have to comment from my old one, which was Don Lemon CNN. But maybe it worked out. Let's see if it worked out. No, I didn't. I'm trying to add an account. But anyway, so if you see that one that says Don Lemon CNN, that's my old one, and I said good morning. So I'll figure it out. Hi guys, sorry. So I got the fancy new phone. Can I tell you about it? Remember I told you I went to the Apple thing the other day, and Tim Cook, some of us left with a little gift. And mine was this brand new phone. But I can't get onto my YouTube. So I get into my notes, though, which I will need for this show. So thank you so much for joining us today. Where do you want to talk? Where do you want to start? Where would you like to start? Where would you like to start today? Do we start with the black Nazi in North Carolina? Do we talk about, do you guys know who Chappell Roan is? Do you guys know who Chappell Roan is? Let me know. And then there's this Ohio Senate, Republican Senate candidate who I have to, which makes a point about something that I said that I actually got in trouble for. The point that I was trying to make, he's making it, okay? So we have Chappell Roan. We also have Cheryl Hines, who is married to, Ashanti. Thank you. I'm right with you. Whitley, right? And Whitley is one of them. So first morning live from California. You're up early. So good morning, everybody. Come on in here. Everybody get in here. So again, this is like our coffee talk show. This is our hot topic segment where I can channel, either Bill Maher or the ladies on The View or Wendy. I like to channel Wendy. Yeah, not about Whitley. Okay. And we got a lot of things to talk about. Okay, so let's start with yesterday. Let's start with yesterday, because if you did not see, Live at 5 was lit yesterday. I mean, if you didn't see it, you really missed out. You really missed out if you didn't see it. By the way, I didn't, no powder, nothing today. This is all me. I forgot it at home. If you did not see Live at 5 yesterday, it was lit. Whitley Yates, who I saw on MSNBC with my good friend Jonathan Capehart. And she made some points about, should celebrities, should the vice president be leaning into celebrity? And have someone like Oprah, and she's like, Oprah's a billionaire and she's not relatable. And I was like, wait a minute. Isn't Donald Trump like a self-professed, self-proclaimed billionaire? He's the actual candidate. Oprah's just sitting there interviewing someone. And by the way, which I think is a huge get for the vice president, because the town hall, all town halls basically are like talk shows. Who is the biggest talk show host in the world ever? I would say it's Oprah. Some people might say Ellen. I don't know. Do you think Ellen and Oprah are equal? No, I don't think so. I think Oprah's like the biggest talk show host, most famous talk show host in the world, correct? So I had an issue. I just wondered, like, the Harris campaign, when we were at the convention, they were leaning into sort of everyday Americans, working class Americans, diversity, patriotism, and really leaning into celebrities, letting the celebrities sort of at the convention introduce the important issue. So Oprah by a mile, says Thomas Aglione. Ellen lost it, says illustrious meme. Okay. Not equal at all, says Intibby. So weigh in on these comments. Whitley was a mess, a hot mess. Lenny, so let me tell you, I don't like to disparage people. I actually enjoyed the conversation with Whitney. Yakima says facts, the Oprah effect. Sure, absolutely, there's an Oprah effect, right? So I don't like to, because I think Whitley means well. I just think that she is one of those people. She's a Republican strategist. She's a staunch Republican. It's really tough when Donald Trump is your guy, because How do you defend that? And that was what I was asking her. And so, it was lit yesterday. I'm just going to let y'all see, and then we'll talk. Roll it, please, Nikki.
Resident of California. She's been a politician.
Okay.
I believe
what's wrong with having political experience if you want to be a politician and hold the highest office in the land? Don't you think that should be a prerequisite, a requirement?
No, I'm going to be honest. No, not necessarily, to be quite honest. I think in our current political system, when you look at these people who've been in positions of
and I see you.
for years and for decades.
Well, wait, qualifications don't matter. Is that what
nothing matters anymore. Nothing
qualifications
matters.
don't matter.
You just stuck in. If you will let me finish, I could
Hold on. What you're saying
right.
is
So,
that
no, I'm not saying that.
You're saying Donald Trump is a DEI hire. He should be hired for because we want something different. America wants something different.
This is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you see career politicians in positions of power year over year and for decades, and they haven't progressed not only their communities, but their constituencies. They haven't created policies that have impacted the American people, which is what I have said. They make a career out of this, and there is no impact in what they are doing. And so the problem, so that's why I think it's great for people who are not politicians, who have not been doing this for years, who are not just attempting to maintain and hoard power in these positions and places to jump in the race. I think that we need servant leaders.
It was an hour of that. And Gretchen was was really kind and generous and patient. And it was on and on and on. And it's that way, again, I don't really, like I said, Whitley means well. But it's that way when you're talking to a lot of Trump supporters. They don't want to really go into specifics about what they're saying. When you call them on what they're saying, they're like, oh, Don, what you're saying is fiction, but it's facts about Donald Trump. When you give them facts, they call the facts fiction. It's really an interesting sort of thing because I do believe that there are conservatives, right? Republicans, legitimate Republicans who believe in conservatism and small government and all of those things. But then all of a sudden Donald Trump came along and they had to twist themselves into pretzels or whatever. But Whitley is young. It seems like she would seems like she would know better. Again, I would have her back. I love having these conversations. But they're just mind-boggling to me. To have people to make those sorts of excuses for inexcusable behavior. Like the whole E. Jean Carroll thing, which I brought up to her when I said, Donald Trump was found liable. Excuse me, everyone. Donald Trump was found liable for rape. And she goes, no, it never happened. It didn't happen, blah, blah, blah. And so I actually had to pull up the report with an S, the receipts, where the judge clarified saying that it was akin to rape. That it is rape. It's just the wording in the legal system was like, because it's a civil case, liable of sexual assault. Except he wasn't, she got all offended saying he wasn't found guilty of raping someone. And I said, well, yes, he was. And then the excuse was, well, it was in a civil court. And I said, well, okay, but it's adjudicated. It's not a criminal. Okay, but he's still a criminal in other aspects of the legal system because he was found guilty of 34 counts. Y'all, I don't know, it's tough. But those are the things that we're up against in this election, excuse me. I had COVID like a month ago and it's still, I still have the drip and all of that. Kind of crazy, COVID is still a thing. Anyway, I'm going on. So it's kind of akin to, it's like, I can't believe what is going on right now. Yeah, someone said Janet Jackson. Yeah, it's like Janet Jackson, almost like people not knowing the facts, but it seems like Whitley would know because she's a Republican strategist. I don't know. We don't have a shared reality of what facts are. Okay? And then cult mentality says in Brown. Yes. I don't know how you convince people of that. They know better. Here's my thing. This is what I want to say. They know better. But they have to stick to it because then what else do they have if they don't have that? And a number of those people, again, I'm not pointing out Whitley, a number of those people, for them, it's the shortest line to the front, right? Because if you are, just say that you are, just sort of your average run-of-the-mill black man, and you want to go into politics and you want to get on television, you want to be a contributor or a consultant or any of those things. Thank you, by the way. Tell the people with Sunny and W1. Thank you for your supporting independent media. So, by the way, if you want to go on television or you want to become a political consultant or a strategist or anything like that, even if it's just in the campaign, what is the fastest way to get notoriety, to get a contract, and to do it? Is by becoming the thing that people would not suspect. Is to be sort of counterintuitive or counterculture or whatever, however it is you want to put it. So then you become a black conservative, and then you become like a black MAGA person, and then all of a sudden people are like, oh my God, there's a black MAGA person, let's put him on TV. There's a black Trump supporter, let's put him on TV. There is a young millennial, cute blonde lady, and she's a Trump supporter or whatever, let's put her on television. Let's give her a contract. Let's send her out to speak to people, or, just like a young, sort of white guy, clean cut, frat sort of looking. It's the shortest line to the front, because then you're sort of in line with a bunch of people who are thinking clearly, who are making sense. And it's just like, well, we have 20 of those people who are in their 20s and whatever, who are on our roster, but we only have one of someone like you. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not telling any lies, because I saw it the entire time when Trump was coming up. Illustrious Meme says the Candace Owens effect. Yes. It's smart. It is smart. I just don't know if it's integrity. But some people really believe it. Or you say it long enough, you believe it, okay? So several things that I want to talk to you about that, okay? So if you say it long enough, you believe it. So shortest line to the front, right? You become someone that they don't expect you to become. I've always said, can you imagine if Don Lemon, I just speak of myself in third person, but can you imagine if I became a conservative? Like, or I was red-pilled, as they say. The world would be my oyster. I'd have a contract on Fox News. I'd make a ton of money selling books on the radio, so whatever. The world would be my oyster financially. I couldn't live with myself, though. I could not live with myself, because I would just be like, why I am being a total sellout for everything that I believe in. Now that happens. People realize, like, some people they'll get canceled, they'll get in trouble, consequence culture, whatever, and then they had been like staunch liberals. Or not even that, just like sort of people who, had a brain. And then all of a sudden they realize, well, I can make more money over there, and there's an audience over there that I haven't tapped into, because the folks on the other side don't really want to hear what I have to say anymore. I'm being shut out by them. So then I have to become a conservative. I have to become a Republican. I have to start saying, hey, you know what? Donald Trump isn't so bad. I guess, oh my God, the guy, they're so mean to him. And everybody needs to come together, kumbaya. And they just sort of memory hole everything that he's done. So shortest line to the front, right? And people take it to the extreme. And that's why I want to talk about our old friend, the black Nazi, is back in the headlines again. North Carolina Lieutenant Governor, I'm talking about Mark Robinson. He is right now, his words are, I'm going after CNN. What does that usually mean if you're going after CNN? That you are threatening them. It sounds like a legal threat to me, right? That he's going to take legal action against CNN. He said last night that he's going after them, characterizing this explosive report that cast his gubernatorial campaign into controversy as, he says, salacious, false lies. Here's Mark Robinson. I'm going after CNN.
Not true. Have you taken steps then to prove it's not you?
We absolutely are. We absolutely are. We're in talks right now, everything up to legal counsel to take CNN to task for what they have done to us. We are going after them, okay? We are going to go after them for what they've done. But we have 5 weeks left in this race, folks, and make no mistake about it. We are not going to let CNN throw us off of our mission. Our mission is to win this race. And quite frankly, I am dismayed about the fact, as I said before, think about how many people out there right now, right in the place where we are right now, who are hooked on fentanyl, who are hooked on opioids, and how many will die tonight because of it. Think about what's going on our border. Think about what's going on the world stage. And this is what you choose to focus on. You've got these news cameras, news reporters, pens, pencils, your microphones. This is what you're focused on. You're not focused on the things that we talked about standing up there about our economy. You're not focused on those things. I am. I'm going to remain focused on those things. And you better understand, I am coming after CNN full throttle. But we have got to put the people first. And in order to put the people first, we've got to concentrate on this campaign. And that is exactly what we're going to do. That's exactly what we're going to do. Thank you.
Now, I saw that yesterday, and when he got to the part where he started talking about opioids and fentanyl, and I laughed, and then Whitley was on the show, and she goes, "Are you laughing at people?" And I'm like, come on, you guys, they do that all the time. I'm laughing because he's using that as an excuse. It's laughable. He's using that as an excuse rather than just sticking with his own issues, not using people who are having issues as a front, right? I'm going to use that because then people will feel sorry for me, and then I can pivot, right, as a pivot point. That's what he's doing. And those people that, woo, woo, woo. This is the bottom of the barrel of candidates. And it didn't need to, this is, hear me. It's the bottom of the barrel when it comes to candidates before this porn stuff. Right? Before this porn. Beth Baer, I know CNN is shaking their boots. That must be sarcasm because CNN is not shaking in their boots. I worked at CNN. They would not put anything on the air with this type of salacious things without going through the process, okay? Now, at least when I was there, all right? So unless it has completely changed since I've been gone for a year and a half or however long it's been, no. The hoops that you would have to jump through to get something like that on the air is to get something like not even that explosive on the air. Every day, we would be sitting there going, oh my gosh, standards and practices, are they done doing their research? Are they done saying that we can get this on the air? Is the triad done? Can I say allegedly instead of can I say he said instead of they said? The hoops that we would have to go through, right? Because CNN believes in truth. On the air, right? Now, behind the scenes, it's just like any other place. There's politics. People are gunning for certain things and certain people. That all happens. That happens everywhere, in every business, in every job. But getting stuff on the air, it's not like Fox News, where in court testimony, they said they don't have to tell the truth. They're not bound by the truth, even as a journalistic organization. I'm not just saying that. That's in court records. That was their argument for their lawsuit with Tucker Carlson, and I think it was Dominion or something, but it was in one of their lawsuits. That ain't CNN, okay? So whoever, I forget your name is, who's saying CNN is shaking their boots, they're not. And I have no reason to defend CNN. Remember, I got fired from CNN. But I know they wouldn't put anything like that on the air. And if it's wrong, okay, then they deserve what they get, okay? So maybe something happens since I've gone, but I doubt it. So then think about it. This is the bottom of the barrel for candidates. And bottom of the barrel for candidates even before this whole sex thing. The sex thing is not really that big a deal. The sex thing is not that big a deal because pornography is legal. What you do in the privacy of your own home, or for him as well, in a booth, in a peep shop, in a porn sex shop or whatever, that's his own business. Nobody's shaming him for that. He's a grown man. He's an adult. He can do whatever he wants. That's not the thing. The hypocrisy is that he is saying that transgender people should not have the same rights as other people, and that he's calling them all kinds of names, that they're sinful, and basically I think he's saying some of the things that should be done are illegally, or should be illegal, allegedly. But then he's admitting on this porn thing that he likes to watch transgender porn. He's part of the party of family values, and he's talking about having an affair with his sister-in-law, with his brother's wife. So that's not even the bad part. The bad part is all the shit that he said before, when he, compared Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. to a Nazi, and saying that he likes Nazism and that slavery and all those things. All of those things that he said before that the Republican Party knew about and that Donald Trump knew about because they were public. And then they were like, he's great. Donald Trump said that he was, Dr. Martin Luther King on steroids, that he was better than Dr. King, and on and on. Those are the bad, awful things that make him a bad candidate. So that's why I'm saying all those people hooping and hollering like, woo, get him, get him, get him. They're hooping and hollering for a terrible person. So if it is lies, then why not do a cease and desist, right? Like, why not take some action? Why didn't he do that, take some action before they even put it out? I don't think anybody is buying this, because you know who's not buying it? Donald Trump is not buying it, but they're not going to say it because he's been banned from his North Carolina rallies, allegedly. And the entire staff of his campaign quit. That's not allegedly, that's true. They did it on late Sunday. His campaign manager, the deputy campaign manager, the finance director, the senior advisor, all stepped down. He has, as of late, as I'm going on the air, or we're streaming, he has all but 3 staffers left, one of whom is just a bodyguard. Okay? That's the latest on that story. That's who they're cheering. So Robinson is a disaster, but you know who else is a disaster as well? Speaking of shortest lines to the front, you say something. Speaking, the Senate candidate, I'm talking about Bernie Marino in Ohio. Late last week, he questioned why women care so much about abortion rights, about women's reproductive rights, saying it was a little crazy that some voters cited reproductive rights as their prime issue heading into the November election. Is the implication that they are sex obsessed? Is the implication that they're slutty just because they want bodily autonomy? And then basically he said that, and it's kind of shocking to him because women over 50 care about reproductive rights, basically saying because women over 50 can't have children normally, right? He's running against Democratic Senator Sherrod Brown. And one of the most watched during the election as Republicans hope to win back the Senate. Already the most expensive of the election cycle thus far. Okay? So here's the thing. So he is saying, hold it right there, stop right there. What he is saying about women and their ages is the point that I was trying to make about what society does to women. Came out wrong, right? And I got in a whole lot of trouble about it. But what I was saying is that's how society that's what society believes about women, is that they are no longer viable at a certain age, right? He's making the point that I was trying to explain to people about why I was shocked about what Nikki Haley was saying, because she was doing to women, to older people, what society has done to women forever, is that saying that there are different standards for them. There should be different standards, and they have to jump through different hoops. She's being ageist, and society's being sexist. This is a local news report about Bernie Marino, what he said. Watch.
6 and only on 4. Republican Senate candidate Bernie Marino is getting harsh backlash tonight because of comments he made over the weekend about women who support reproductive rights. NBC4 obtained a video recorded at a Warren County town hall during which Marino accused suburban women of being focused solely on their ability to get an abortion and questioned why it would even be an issue for older women.
You know, the left has a lot of single-issue voters. Sadly, by the way, there's a lot of suburban women. A lot of suburban women that are like, listen, abortion's it. If I can't have an abortion in this country whenever I want, I will vote for anybody else. Okay, a little crazy, by the way, but especially for women that are like past 50, I'm thinking to myself, that's an issue for you. Oh, thank God my wife didn't hear that one. Oh, they didn't get trouble.
God, I hate to say I told you so, but I told you that was my point. That's what they think. That's what they think. The same party that Haley belongs to, that's what they think. It's not what I was saying. That's what they think. And there's Bernie Marino proving the point. Even with that, the polling shows that it's really close in that race, with just over a month to go until voters head into the polls. Polling shows a close race with just over a month to go heading to the polls there. You know who got this right? I have to shout out my friend. Got to shout out my friend over at MSNBC. And that is none other than Rachel Maddow. And Rachel, she did it when it came in last night. Thank you, because it was something that I would do, and I'm sure people would just sort of overlook it. What she did was, I think, really important. And she said, this is breaking news. You need to hear this. Here's Rachel. Watch.
You know, I mentioned before the break that we just got in something sort of shocking from a U.S. Senate candidate, a Republican candidate. This is coming from Ohio. In Ohio, the Democratic incumbent senator is, of course, Senator Sherrod Brown. He's running for re-election. Republicans have nominated a wealthy car dealer to try to unseat Sherrod Brown. The Republican candidate is named Bernie Marino. And we just got in this tape of Bernie Marino at a campaign event in Lebanon, Ohio. Watch.
You know, the left has a lot of single-issue voters. Sadly, by the way, there's a lot of suburban women. A lot of suburban women that are like, listen, abortion's it. If I can't have an abortion in this country whenever I want, I will vote for anybody else. Okay, a little crazy, by the way, but especially for women that are like past 50, I'm thinking to myself, that's an issue for you. Oh, thank God my wife didn't hear that one. Oh, they didn't get trouble.
Oh, thank God my wife didn't hear that one. A little crazy, by the way, but especially for women that are like past 50. I'm thinking to myself, I don't think that's an issue for you. That tape just in from Lebanon, Ohio. Republican Senate candidate Bernie Marino saying any woman over 50 doesn't have any reason to support reproductive rights, abortion rights. Are you kidding? Because, you know, women over 50. I'm thinking to myself, he actually says it. I'm thinking to myself, I don't think that's an issue for you. Wow. You know, unluckily for Bernie Marino in Ohio, running against Democratic Senator Sherrod Brown, women in Ohio, even women over 50, apparently do still have the right to vote, even if he doesn't think they have a right to an opinion. Good luck, sir. Amazing.
Yep, Rachel. Good luck, sir. And she's right. By the way, I forgot the name. It was in the chat. Someone said women have daughters. Oh, and Marcel said another. Women in their 50s have daughters and granddaughters. And some women over 50 still have babies. Wow, wow. Now you get, that's what. Hang on. That's why I wrote this. It's in there. I talk about that. It's in there. I talk about that in the book. Crazy. You know what else is crazy? You guys, man, and I love this song this summer. We're going to continue. We'll talk about that on Live at 5. I love the song this summer. H-O-T-T-R-T-L to go. You know what I mean? Chapel Roan is a song of the summer. I don't know if you guys know. Do you guys know that song? She became like fast. One of the biggest pop stars in the U.S. over just the last few months. Her music is being played everywhere. Teenagers are obsessed with her. The Harris Walls team has been playing her songs at rallies. But they like her, but she doesn't like them. She's saying, they not like us, they not like us, they not like us, which is my song in the summer. I love that song. So Chappell Roan is now feeling pressure to endorse either Kamala Harris or Donald Trump for the 2024 presidential election. Even I said something go on my TikTok and on my social media. I said that Chappell Roan, it was time, after Taylor Swift stepped up, it was time for her to step up, right? Oh, thank you. Lacey Suter says Janet Jackson had her baby after 50. Yeah, my friend in Atlanta had a baby at 47. She had twins at 47. So, hey, look, it happens. I'm not saying, I'm on your side, so you don't have to convince me. Deborah Yvette says, I've never heard of Chappell Roan. Yeah, I know, it's for the young folks. I'd never heard you. I got this new social media team. They're young, hip kids, and they're telling me all about Skibbity, right? Even our chat is like Skibbity Squad. I have to school them on something. Sometimes they get me in trouble. They post things that I don't know about, and I'm like, guys, why'd you post that? You're gonna get me in trouble. I have to make them take it down. They're young, but they keep me young, and so I know about Chappell Roan. I also know about Cardi. So, Song of the Summer. So, in contrast to singers like Taylor Swift and Billie Eilish, who have publicly stated their stance on who they're going to vote for in November, Chappell Roan, not ready to make a similar move. So, I have some issues with that, because maybe you just don't say anything, right? And so does Chappell Roan. She says, I have so many issues with our government in every way. She posted this on social media. She said in an interview with The Guardian, but it's also on social media, there are so many things that I would want to change, so I don't feel pressured to endorse someone. She continued, there's problems on both sides, right? Or maybe she didn't post it. Maybe that was on like a Pop's social website. Janet, and now Chappell Roan. Again, you can support whoever you want. That's your business. But at least have some knowledge and understanding about what it is you're saying. One particular issue that Roan would like to be highlighted is trans rights, adding that they cannot have cis people making decisions for trans people, period, okay? Chappell, are you paying attention? Because the right is slamming the left, Democrats, for trying to protect and support transgender people. The right, and even some people who were supporters of the Democrats, are saying, oh my God, the Democrats are over-indexing on trans issues. Chappell, do you really think Democrats and Republicans are equally as bad on trans rights? Do you really think that? Democrats are trying to protect trans rights. The GOP want trans people not to exist. What are you talking about? That's why I have such an issue with false equivalency. And that's why I think it's dangerous when media, I feel your frustration, says Cece. I'm so frustrated by this. Because the Democrats on this one issue cannot win from both Democrats and Republicans, right? Democrats are trying to protect trans issues. Members of their own party think they're going too far and over-indexing on the pronouns and on trans rights and bathroom and all of that. And Republicans are saying that they're doing it as well. So they can't really win. So Chappell Roan, you have to understand what you're doing because you have a voice. Maybe you're new because you're a new pop star. And I don't want to be that hard on you, but just know what you're talking about. Because Democrats are getting shit from everybody for supporting trans rights. And guess what? Even members of the LGBTQ community, gay men, are like, man, we go to these events, we pay for all the tables, we pay for everything, we pay for, all of the HRC, like the money is coming from, gay men. And they go to these events and it's all about trans rights, trans rights, trans rights. So it's an issue. And I know because I'm a member of the LGBTQ community. And I have friends who are trans, who are gay, who are lesbian. I have friends, all of them. And we all talk about these issues. So they get it from everywhere. Has she heard of Mark Robinson? Thank you, Brittany K01. Do you hear what Mark Robinson says about transgender people, Chapel Roan? Have you seen some of the ads that they've put up? Vindictive Tiger says, Don, it's about the pop star thing, but she's been an American longer than she's been a pop star, Don Lemon. You know what? You're right about that. She has. This frustrates me so much. And you know who I have to thank, too, for speaking out against this and bringing attention to it? And by the way, someone, you should check out The Bulwark. They do such a great job. I love Tim Miller. I think Tim Miller is great. He's having a moment right now, and well-deserved. He's bringing light to this issue, probably speaking on it better than me, because he's also, I think we're equally speaking on it, but he is also a gay man married with a child. And when he found out about this Chapel Roan thing, he took to the camera and to the streaming. And let's play some of it. Give him his flowers. Tim Miller, clip with the green-blue shirt on. I see it right at the bottom. No? Is it not playing? Nikki, you there?
It's Tim Miller from The Bulwark, and I've got a little beef with Chapel Roan's recent political commentary. I don't want to have to do this, you know. I love Pink Pony Club. My daughter, she's into Hot to Go. She's singing Hot to Go all the time. There are other good songs. Rewind Supernova. She has good songs. Okay, I'm into it. No judgment on that. But she's decided to weigh in on politics. And I think it's important to step back and talk about what she's saying, because these people have influence, right? If you are a huge pop star like she is, she's had this massive rise, this huge trajectory up. She has influence. She has influence particularly over young folks that may be on the fence about whether or not to vote. And like, it's important to speak to them about why voting matters, why it's important, and not kind of diminish it in a lot of ways, which is what it seems like Chapel was doing. Just before I get into her comments, I just want to say, this feed is not going to turn into like Ben Shapiro obsessing over like him getting offended when some celebrity says something too woke he doesn't like. If celebrities don't want to talk about politics, that's fine. If they do, that's great. I'm all about it either way. You be your true self. What I don't like, though, is if you're going to weigh in, doing so in a way that has some misinformation and that might be actively harmful to the things you say you want. So
know what you're talking
about. If you,
about.
like Chapel Roan, care about LGBTQ issues, something I certainly care about, being in a gay marriage with a child, then there's a clear choice in this election, and the clear choice is Kamala Harris. And that's not what Chapel Roan's telling her fans. So let's take a look at what she's been saying. She was receiving some negative feedback about having already, indicated that she wasn't going to weigh in, as Billie Eilish has, as Taylor Swift has, in favor of Kamala Harris. And she said this: "I have so many issues with our government in every way. There are so many things I would want to change, so I don't feel pressure to endorse someone. There's problems on both sides." Okay, sure, that's true. That technically true. There is problems on both sides, but one side's clearly better than the other, particularly when it comes to the issues you claim to care about. Chapel Roan has been a big advocate for drag culture.
Okay, so here we get it. So basically, Tim is saying the same thing that I'm saying. Know what you're talking about, and know what's on both sides. There are problems on both sides, but come on, Chapel, you got to get it together, because they do have influence, and they're expecting young people to vote, more young people to vote this time. It's not going to be huge, like everyone's like, oh, the young people are going to carry it. I don't know if that's going to happen. Maybe Donald Trump will be able to mobilize these young college dudes, the sort of Rogan, types, right? And the frat dudes who are wearing the Make America Great Again hats. And I forgot the kid who gave him the Cybertruck or whatever. By the way, Donald Trump making fun of, who's the kid that he's making fun of? Anyway, I put it on my social media. He's making fun of this kid who's a 21-year-old influencer, Harry Sisson, 21 years old. He's making fun of this kid and calling out this kid and telling him to get his fat ass off the couch. And yet he's telling people to take the temperature down and watch your rhetoric. And he is demonizing a 21-year-old kid. Now, do you think that, go onto my TikTok and look, or Instagram, do you think that Kamala Harris would ever make fun of Bryce Hall, who's 25 years old and is an influencer, was like got on TikTok during COVID and started doing the dance move, and then, people hated him, and then he's like, okay, well, maybe, I got to start boxing so that people will like me again, and now he's supporting Donald Trump because he thinks that people are going to like him again, right? If you're an influencer, you have to keep influence or you're out, right? You think Kamala Harris would ever make fun of that? No, she has class. Donald Trump does not have class. Harry Sisson, yes, I said that. Thank you very much. Okay, so what else we got? We went through the North Carolina, we went through the Marino, we went through the Chapel Roan of it all. And so let's talk about RFK Jr. and his affair. Can we talk about that? Before we talk about RFK Jr., before we do that, do we want to do that? No, I want to talk about RFK Jr. RFK Jr., and it's mostly about Cheryl Hines. So Cheryl Hines, according to the trades, have stopped wearing her wedding ring. As you know, RFK Jr. was just found out to have, I don't know if we have a clip. Oh, wait, do we have a full screen or a clip or something? I see a full screen there or something.
Cheryl Hines has appeared to deter wedding ring after news broke of her husband, Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s alleged personal relationship with New York Magazine reporter Olivia Nuzzi. The actress was spotted in Milan over the weekend, where her prominent silver wedding band appeared to be traded in for a different accessory. The Curb Your Enthusiasm star also celebrated her 59th birthday on September 21st in Italy without her husband, who was in Las Vegas campaigning for former President Donald Trump. Her daughter Catherine, whom she shares with ex-husband Paul Young, was present at the celebrations, as was her stepdaughter Keira Kennedy. Photos from the night were posted on Instagram. On Thursday, September 19th, New York Magazine addressed the alleged relationship between their prominent political reporter and the former 2024 independent presidential candidate, as they noted she was placed on leave while a third party investigates. Recently, our Washington correspondent, Olivia Nuzzi, acknowledged to the magazine's editors that she had engaged in a personal relationship with a former subject relevant to the 2024 campaign while she was reporting on the campaign, a violation of the magazine's standards around conflicts of interest and disclosures. The magazine said in part, adding, "Had the magazine been aware of this relationship, she would have not continued to cover the presidential campaign. An internal review of her published work has found no inaccuracies nor evidence of bias." Nuzzi, who was engaged to Politico reporter Brian Lizza.
So now they're getting into the nitty-gritties, and here's the thing, though. I know every single person involved. I know Ryan probably better, her former fiance, better than anyone. We worked together for years at CNN. So I know Ryan. I know Olivia not as well. And listen, I'm not going to comment on them because they're dealing with their thing, and that's, I'm not going to speak ill of former colleagues. And I'll tell you how I know RFK Jr. and Cheryl Hines, and I think I've told you this story before. So I went to a movie opening. Well, first of all, I know his sister, Carrie Kennedy, very well. And by the way, the Ripple of Hope awards that Carrie has every year, she just invited me last week to the Ripple of Hope. She reached out to me, how are you doing? I love what you're doing. I miss talking to you. We haven't been, it's been really crazy, blah, blah, blah. So we text and we know each other. So I really like Carrie Kennedy. By the way, Carrie Kennedy has the same thing with her vocal cords as her brother does. So I went to a movie premiere at the Whitby Hotel in New York City a couple years ago. And I was leaving, and Robert Kennedy Jr. runs out. I was with a friend, my friend Jamie from Atlanta. And he runs out and says, "Hey, Don, Robert Kennedy." I was like, "Oh, hey, how are you? Good to see you." And he's like, "Cheryl and I are in here with his son." I forgot what his son's name was. I'm not sure if it was Patrick. I'm not sure which son it was, but it was a very handsome son. I think it was the one that dated Taylor Swift. So when he says, "Come have dinner, sit and have dinner with us." So I went and I sat and I had dinner with him and Cheryl, and then we became friendly, not friends. Every once in a while we would text each other and he would always say, blah, 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 blah. Cheryl says hello. That's it. I hadn't heard from him in a long, long time. And then all of a sudden I start seeing these things about him and anti-vax, and I'm like, what is going on with him? And so I kind of lost touch with him, but I do know them. So I don't know specifically like what Cheryl's stance is on all of these things because I just haven't done that much research on her. But Cheryl seems to be a nice woman, and I just feel like I think about what she is going through, because she is kind of in the public eye, but not politically, and now she's having to deal with this. So that's my story about that. So I like Cheryl Hines. I don't know if you guys do. I liked Robert. Still, look, I don't have anything against him. I think some of the things he says is nutty. I don't believe in the stuff that he says, but he shouldn't be given a pass if Olivia is not given a pass. No one is innocent in all of this. Yeah. So justice for Cheryl. That's what I have to say. Okay, Trump rallies. So you know how, you remember what triggered Donald Trump during the debate, right? People are leaving his rallies because he's bored. And then he got triggered and then couldn't recover during the debate. Well, let's see. There is some photo evidence. This is not AI.
This woman taking her, she's so much worse. She'll see you and just doesn't be coming you don't have the television guys all over, but the real military, you put them in a room for 2 years and scream, walk at them, and when they walk out.
And there's more. That's one. But there's more photo evidence of people actually. So the vice president is right. People start leaving his rallies. And you know what? When I saw Corey Lewandowski last week, he said that I could go to he was going to personally be my escort for a Trump rally, and that no one would attack me. So I'm going to try to figure it out. Should I go to a Trump rally, guys? What do you guys think? Should I go? Toilet breaks? No. Usually people come back from toilet breaks. Nobody came back to those seats. And not that many people are getting up, going to the bathroom at one time. Come on. Come on. Don't make excuses. We have eyes. One more thing that I want to show you. So J.D. Vance has been saying all these things about women and cat ladies and kids and people who don't have kids and what we should be doing with kids. Another odd thing that has bubbled up is him talking about how is weird. Car seats and they're dangerous, and I don't know. See if you can figure it out. Here it is.
Families aren't having enough children. I think there's evidence that some of the things that we're doing to parents is driving down the number of children that American families are having. In particular, there's evidence that the car seat rules that we've imposed, which of course I want kids to drive in car seats, have driven down the number of babies born in this country by over 100,000. So as we think about how to make kids safer, I think we should do it in a way that is accommodating to American families, and I encourage your organization to do that.
Jesus. Okay, that's it. If you can figure it out, I don't know what he's talking about. Don't go. Do not go. Even if someone is escorting me, you don't want me to go to report at a Trump rally? I shouldn't go to a Trump rally? I think as a reporter, I should go to a Trump rally and report on it. I think as a member of the media, no. Do you think I will be safe if I go to a Trump rally? No? No? Yes, go, says Tasha Scott. Oh my God, people are not having kids because of car seats. TK, I know it's crazy, right? So not safe, says, I don't know. All right, we'll see, but maybe I'll go, I'll have security, I don't know. But I would love to go and see. I'd love to go see if people are leaving. I just want to go and I've never gone. Back in 2016 or 2015, when all this was happening, Kellyanne Conway invited me to go to a Trump rally. I think I still have the voicemail from Kellyanne Conway on my things asking me and saying, hey, come to a Trump rally. But anyway, I don't know. And I've never gone to one. I have seen Trump parades, car parades. I've seen plenty of Trump boat parades, especially during his time in office and when he was running out in Long Island. I mean, yeah. Okay. So guys, you're caught up. And if you are not watching live at 5, you are missing out on some stuff. It is informative. It is lit. We get into it just like we do here on the Hot Topics. Okay. And so I'm glad if you have something that you want to discuss here on Hot Topics, make sure you let us know and we'll discuss it. This is a lighter show. We get more into pop culture so that you can start your day a little bit easier. It doesn't have to be all politics. And maybe after the election, we get to move into pop culture and I get to sit here. Maybe I'll get a purple chair. Should I get a purple chair like Wendy? Should I get like my own chair where I can sit and pontificate? like Wendy and then spill the tea every morning. I really miss her on morning television, though. I really do, or just on as a talk show host. I really, really miss her. She was so much fun. I know a lot of people hated her, but anyways, I think she's very talented, and what a loss. There's a hole in daytime television talk shows without Wendy Williams. Okay? You don't know what you got until it's gone. Okay, so Sunny Hostin is going to join us tomorrow, right, from The View, speaking of hot topics. And then, here you go, guys. I once was lost in my search for God in America. If you want to know everything about the whole, what that Marino was saying about women and you know, not being at a certain age, I talk about that in here. I talk about the whole Nikki Haley thing. I explained to you what I meant and exactly what that guy says. That's what I was talking about. So, there you go. Someone said that they were listening to the book. Thank you very much. No frills, it looks better, says Motown Mini. All right, instead of the purple chair. I love it. I love purple. Thank you, guys. Get a lemon chair. I'll see you at 5 o'clock. Bye. Hit the thumbs up, like and subscribe.